we have a long list ahead of us, so let's get the show started.
All right, I'll call this meeting of the Historic District Commission to order at 7:02 PM. Todd, would you read the call?
Town of Groton, notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, May 7, 2024 at 7 PM at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road. And virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HCC 24-0024, 8 Ice House Lane, Dave Regan, applicant, Lana Citarelli, owner, new home, PIN number 261917003455. ACC 24-0025, 20 High Street, Jeff Gillies, applicant, Adria Barnes, owner, HVAC installation, PIN number 261806393897. ACC 24-0026, 54 West Main Street, Walt Bansley, applicant, owner, fence installation, PIN number 261983079945. ACC 24-0027, 8 Roland Street, Eric Goodman, owner, applicant, fence and pergola installation, PIN number 261805293345. ACC 24-0028, 12 Water Street, Timothy Kohler, owner, applicant, signage, PIN number 261918305500. ACC 24-0029, 23 and a half or 23 and a fifth Pearl Street. Bill Jankowski, owner, applicant, window modification and hood vent installation, PIN number 261918319845. ACC 24-0030, 84 High Street, Michael Gabrielle, owner, applicant, fence installation, PIN number 261918303478. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 30th day of April 2024 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
Thank you. I will waive the hearing procedures. If anyone wants to read them, it's the yellow sheet over there. And we will jump right in with public hearings. Start with HTC 24-0022, 133 River Road. Are they here?
It's Christian.
Come on up. Okay.
You can sit down. And just introduce yourself and the address.
Christian McGugan.
Oh, and I don't think your mic is on. Push it.
Christian.
Just hold it.
Just press
Hold
and
it.
hold.
And then let go. It'll turn green.
Christian McGugan, the Gwenmore Marine Construction out of Mystic. We
Your
are,
Your address.
12 Rosalia Drive in Mystic. And we're doing a project at 133. Actually, I think I have pictures of the dock that was approved by DEP and Army Corps that's already built. We built the dock this summer. And the owner wants to have utilities on the dock. So there was a submittal that we did that showed a stand next to the telephone pole on the land side of the street, on the, say, west side of River Road, next to the telephone pole that we submitted. So he could have power and water. We went to the town, they said, we'll issue the permits, but you need to go before the historical society or this is my first run through this. Like,
That's okay.
yeah, we've done lots of docks on River Road and all over the Mystic River, but we haven't run into the historical commission thing where we had to like cut the road, and they said we have to get through you before they can issue their permit. The town.
Yeah.
So
There were two
last,
things going on.
yeah, last time that they came for the electrical work, but the dock was never approved by
Okay.
us. So we needed the information on the dock to approve the dock before you could get the power approved.
Right, so you should have a submittal from us like this that shows the dock as it was approved by the DEP and the Army Corps.
Right, but the application's on for the electrical, right?
Right. So
I don't know if you guys were not copied on Daco and Mystic did the permitting for that. and
Yeah, they just.
Usually they copy the, the first selectman, the Harbor Management Commission. And it's possible that you guys we're not copied on that when we built the dock?
Yeah, much like the electrical, we needed to prove the dock also. I don't think it ever got to us for approval.
But just so you understand, any docks in the Historic District Commission have to get approved before you can even build them. So the dock's in violation, whether or not the DEP or the Army Corps gave you permission, you still
Yeah.
couldn't construct it without coming to us.
Okay.
Which
So
isn't it's not we just need the information on the dock.
okay, what information, like,
Material, size,
we already built it, obviously, because there's pictures that I submitted with you guys.
Right.
Like it's built, it's done, it's there.
right?
So
So
we need the application basically in retroactive. So you
So you
need
guys
to,
have an application for a dock?
no,
Yeah,
so you need to submit
you
one to
need
us.
to submit one.
Okay, well, I'm not being smart, Alec, but where does this span? Because we've built docks along,
Did you build the one on,
not bragging, but like we built every dock on the Mystic River on the Seaport side and the other side.
you built the one on like 19 gravel?
Yeah, we built, honestly, like I said, I'm not boasting, but yes, we built if you come inside the drawbridge, I think we built every single dock
You
there.
build the one that just got built on 19 gravel for Dan.
Fisher.
Oh, what's the last name?
Fisher.
No,
Oh, yeah, we did the seawall for him, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so he got
So
approval
he
with us.
came,
Yeah, oh, we did.
Yeah.
and he
Yeah, I
got
don't even
them,
know this. This is like, that's why I told you guys, this is like first time around for me with you guys.
right?
And we've been.
So it seems like probably the architects or the engineers have been coming to get them approved, but this
Right.
one just somehow.
The owner or the architects never came before us.
I think this one, because the owner wants the utilities across the street and we went to,
No, you couldn't have built the dock in the first place. So the dock's in violation, but we're just trying to get the information so we can approve it.
right,
But we need like the materials, the size, all the information that would need to go and with including an application for it before you can get the utilities done.
okay.
So basically the application you did for utilities, just do the same thing, but for the dock.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Do you guys have an application form?
We couldn't hear it tonight, I don't think, can we?
No.
All right, so just make it really simple for me. What do I need to do after tonight?
You want to jump in?
If tomorrow you call Susan Chiquette at the front desk, she can walk you in it. All of our applications are online on our town website.
Okay.
So,
Because this is like circular. I've talked to Sue 3 times. She keeps sending me back to you guys.
okay, I'm not, I'm,
But
I'm
you
just
only
filling
talked
out-
to her about the electrical panel. You didn't talk to her about the dock.
I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you go online, like you're gonna file a normal permit for any project, on that, there's a Historic District Commission application. If you click on that through their electronic permitting service, you can then fill out the application there, and that'll give you all the information that you need.
Gotcha.
But in the future, just make sure your docs are approved.
I will.
It's not a big deal.
I will
but
say this, and I'll swallow my tongue when I say this. Been a dock builder since 1946. My family's been building docks. I try to abide by all the regs. DEP regulates from the high tide line forward. Nobody else does. Groton Long Point, we've been through this whole thing with them. It's a matter of jurisdiction, and I'm gonna do what you're asking me to do. I promise you, and I'll do it in the future. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. Was DEP has told me for as long as 35 years I've been in my career. We regulate high tide line forward, and
DEP 's-
nobody else has any jurisdiction. We have jurisdiction over everybody in the world, state of Connecticut.
So DEP and Army Corps of Engineers had to come to us to approval for Central Hall. Amtrak's had to come to us for approval for railroad things.
Right,
We're kind of the last stop.
Yeah.
But again, just because we happen to be going over all the enforcement and fines and everything in the future, I just make sure the doc's approved. That's
Yeah.
all. It's not
I don't
tough.
even know where the historic district like Where does it span? If I'm on River
There's a
Road?
map you can get from the town.
Okay,
Yep.
is it on both sides of the river?
We're only Groton.
We're Groton.
Just on the Groton side?
Well, Stonington must have their own version.
They don't,
No.
but they're starting like a,
Is it
They
safe
said
to
it's
say
similar.
it starts at the drawbridge and it goes all the way down, like past the 95 bridge?
No, it stops about where you.
Stops
the one.
basically at your house, the house you're working.
You're like the-
133?
Yeah.
Approximately, yeah,
Okay, that's good to know. I don't know.
but it's been around since what,
70 something.
yeah.
Yeah. So like, and not that I wanna dig this up, but like, there's probably like 20 docks that are NOVs
You could get fined.
that we've built, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not a good path to go down.
Well, no, it was unbeknownst to me until this moment in time, like,
Yeah,
I'm always told the DEP, the Army Corps, got the permits.
we're just one extra layer, so you still need to go through them and then us.
yeah.
Yeah, all right,
So go into that online permitting and it'll walk you through the steps.
okay,
Thank you.
sounds
But
good.
it looks like your electrical panel one is good.
Yeah, we just can't vote on
We
it.
can't.
Right, we can't vote on it. I'm just saying, it looks
Right.
like your step two.
Basically, if you just take some pictures of the dock, if you make a list of materials for the dock, and if you
Okay.
submit to us the size and the shape of the dock,
Yeah,
you're
So you
done.
guys-
Done.
I'll do that, but you don't have the first submittal, like, I had somebody run this down to the here.
Nope, never got that.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
never got those.
Wow.
It's in here.
It, I mean, the picture's in there, but
Yeah.
that's
that
not an
doesn't-
application.
All right,
So once we deal with that, then we can deal with the electric.
Okay.
All right, so if it's okay with you, I will make a motion to continue. Yours.
I second,
Yes, sir.
Bill Ferguson, second.
All right, all in favor?
Todd Brady.
Aye. Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
So you're continued. Thank you.
all right. thanks.
All
That's
right,
good.
thank you.
HCC 24-0023 275 Noank Road. Come on up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just bring a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I didn't see Ted here, so.
I'm Paul B. For 275 North Road. And this is
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm Jeff
You
Gillies.
may want to take
But-
that mic and stick it between you two guys.
Yeah.
Jeff Gillies for Densmore Oil.
And we wanted to install mini split units on the house at 275 North Road, which is a cave. And
Yeah, so we're looking at putting an outdoor unit on either side of the house. One unit's gonna be feeding two indoor units on the right side, on the left side, which is the driveway side. That unit would be feeding let's see, two units on the bottom floor and one unit on the second floor. There's garden beds on either side. Put them on concrete pads with the 12-inch metal stands. There's a hydrangea bush that's gonna get displaced, that we could move over to the other side and kind of block the side profile of it. And then in terms of line coverings, it's a white house, bright white, and we'd be using the Slim Duct 100 white line hide, which I think I threw a spec sheet in on that for you guys.
Yeah, these are smaller condensers too, right?
Yeah, they're, let's see, one of them is. It's a,
This one says 25 inches tall by 34, so you're not, it's gonna be pretty hidden by the vegetation.
yeah, the larger of the two units, I think is 32 inches tall. The,
So one,
actually, no, sorry, that one's 26 inches, so.
so that's gonna be along the driveway side. One condenser is gonna be on the driveway side and the other one's gonna be on the other side.
Yes.
Lost a shutter. Just noticed it. Any questions or comments?
Paul, would you mind on the driveway side putting some screening if we asked you to? That's not a bush, like some
yeah.
wood screening?
Whatever we're gonna take that one bush out or two bushes out on one side, put them in on the other side, so it'll help to block it.
But would you be opposed to putting like a little screen of,
Like a lattice.
lattice
rather
or
than a
lattice.
bush?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
just
Okay.
something so it's not when the bush is in the winter and there's no vegetation on it?
Right. It's, the bushes on the driveway side are pretty dense. I don't think you'll see it at all on that side, but if you want something on the other side, yeah, that's not a problem.
Great.
Weekend project. And it'll be better looking than those window air conditioners sticking out of those windows.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agree there.
For sure.
Todd? Anything? I'm good.
I'm good.
Cool.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thank you.
Does anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? Okay, HTC 24-0023 is closed.
Right.
Do you have another one?
I do.
Why don't you just stay and we'll just do your second one?
All right.
HTC 24-0025 20 High Street.
Yep. So, yeah,
Sorry.
that's
Just
for
easier instead of, yeah.
Adria Barnes. That is gonna be a single zone, mini split. It's gonna handle like the great room that's on the back right-hand side of the house. On the photos, I tried to show it, we're gonna go to the back side. So then the line height would just be going straight up to the unit. And, their house is yellow. So it's all, the white line height is, paintable. So we were gonna paint that.
Can you even see it from anywhere?
Not really. There's a big tree that's in the way, so like the only way I could kind of show where the unit was gonna be was to kind of go down the street a little. So that's the side view, like in the back. When you're actually on like the walkway area, but to get a street view, it'd be with the big tree in front, it's kind of impossible to show where it would be. So I just kind of went to the side just to give you guys an idea of perspective there. But yeah, it was kind of teetering on that line of like, is it visible? Is it not? Like if you're driving directly past the house, if you're literally even in front of their driveway, couldn't see it. But if you're coming up the road, yeah.
Maybe it's right here. Or it's- I think that's right.
Same thing. Do you want to just ask them to screen with some lens?
Yeah. Do the, that's my gripe.
That's my hot button, so I like them screened with lattice, so
Yeah.
if you guys are cool with that, that
And
Yeah.
makes my eye happy.
Yeah, Adria's not here, but
yeah.
I know where to find her,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
sure I can.
Yeah.
If she needs to do
And we'll-
lattice.
We'll put that in the, if it's approved, we'll put that in
Yeah.
the approval that's part of this.
Just whatever's
Yeah,
visible.
now lattice like all the way around, like three sides,
Yeah.
or,
Whatever you, well, I'd say whatever's.
I would,
visible.
At least, I'd say two sides.
yeah,
of
we
that.
can
minimum of-
definitely,
a minimum of
we
two
can
sides.
absolutely obstruct it.
Yeah.
With the lattice screen of some sort.
But you want to be able to get at it.
Right.
Correct.
Right,
yeah,
right. So a
and-
minimum of two sides. If you need the third side, so you have
Yeah.
access.
Yeah,
No
and-
harm, no
And
foul.
with the, it's gonna airflow, of course, we try to
Right.
have it out far enough, and with it being a walkway. Would you guys be opposed if they did the screen, like, so if we're looking at that side view area, if they put the screen kind of a little farther away from the unit, so it would still block the
Yeah.
view, but not be directly in front of the unit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay with that.
Whatever works
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
functionally.
Just
for-
something to make it go away.
Right.
We can make it go
Make
away.
it disappear.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue.
Do you anything?
No, I just wrote that on here. It's in stipulation.
Perfect. Did you write on the other one too?
Hmm?
Did you write on the other one too? The other one?
No, it didn't.
Good. Does anyone else?
I'm good.
All right,
You
All right.
fantastic.
Enjoy your night.
All right, anyone in the audience having the same support of the application? Anyone against the application? All right, HTC 24-0025 is closed. So I'll jump back. HTC 24-0024. This is 8 Ice House Lane. Dave, someone? Sorry, he was just up here, so. it was easier to
okay.
Keep it going.
Nice to see you all.
Welcome back.
Actually, sort of 2 sets. Maybe just one.
Renderings on the, on
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah.
The rendering that you put up?
There's a camera that's right by this.
Oh. Here. Well, let me just show the rendering first. I know that that's important.
Yep.
All right, so what do we show it? How do we show it on? You don't have it on your computer?
No.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let me pull it.
We have it.
Yeah, I thought we would do that first, Thomas. Sure. Because the black lines don't look as nice. Okay, so Ice House.
So just don't forget, you're half in, half out.
Yeah.
You're more out.
Good.
So
That's great.
it still has to go
So-
through the approval process, but
Yeah.
there's more leniency than if it was in the
Okay.
middle.
Fully, yeah.
So you guys probably, if you can see the renderings, which look good, but obviously you guys got to see this with dimensions and so. forth.
Yeah.
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 It's a scale.
There we go.
Yeah.
Falling down.
General, so these are the black and white.
You can set the microphone on top of it.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so yeah, these are the black and white production drawings of the elevations. Like my dad said, we have renderings. We submitted within the application as well. I'm trying to think, what else?
Well, the details that we gave in the application have like the hardy board, the PVC, that's all in the application. I don't think all the details are on this sheet here, Thomas, but
No,
we came here for a preliminary meeting and got a good take of what you guys are looking for. Simulated divided lights is in the windows, and there were a couple other things that we didn't show. I think originally were some lighting that we were gonna put in on the exterior. At the doors, garage doors, back door.
Lighting, you can actually do whatever you want.
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because in residential, it's commercial, it has to get.
Oh, okay. Perfect. But we're excited to do this project. I think there's some people in town that, watch this thing unfold.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfold or fall down.
Yeah, so we're happy. The person, they're excited because it'll be their second home, and we talked to him a couple, well, Thomas, this is your first deal. This is my son's first deal. I don't know why you want to get in the real estate construction business with me, but he said he does, so. I said, you got someone interested? Okay.
Yeah.
They like the cemetery, okay.
it's like now put it through the historical commission.
Yeah, you get that. But anyways, so we're doing everything I think that you guys want. Obviously, we might have missed something. We talked about, when we were here last time, we got a little porch, roof over there with corbels holding it. That's all PVC stuff. So we know that that's what you guys want. I just listened to you guys talk about AC units. We don't show that on anything that we've given you, but I would say that the AC units for this particular house would go in the back of the garage to the right side of that door is where I would say that's where they're gonna go.
So you can do one of two things. You can either mark it on the plans and we approve it,
Okay.
or you can just come back.
Come back and, yeah, well, we could do it there tonight if we could, and if for some reason we wanted to put it over on the right side, but I see that's a good place to go. And so that's something that we don't show. And I don't know if we show the bulkhead, if you guys want to see the bulkhead, because we want to
Is
do.
it but in the back?
Yeah, I think we may want to put it on the left side of the house as you look at it from the front. We put it maybe over here, or, yeah, maybe right in the back where that window is, that small window is. That's probably a good place to go, see it. Yeah, right there.
If you're gonna put it there, same thing, I would just mark it.
Yeah.
The only thing you're gonna have to submit, but I think I wouldn't, well, everyone doesn't have a problem. The garage doors and just a window schedule with sizes,
Okay,
even though
Yeah.
you've got probably 2 scale elevations, like
yeah.
you still should have a window schedule.
See if he has that. We didn't put a window schedule, but we do have sizes that we can write in tonight, so we can get it approved. if we See that.
We can discuss it. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we can approve it and you would just send it in. That's all.
Okay.
So just.
We'll approve it contingent that you send this in
Yeah.
Yeah.
for file.
So window schedule,
The garage,
bulkhead,
the bulkhead and the garage doors,
perfect. And wait, I'm sorry, I missed it. What about the garage doors?
just,
These doors here, Thomas, we gotta give them.
just whatever.
The specs.
is on it. Yeah,
Okay. That wasn't in the, I thought, did we put that in?
I don't know. Did
No.
you?
I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
Okay,
again, not a
Yeah.
big deal.
sure.
This is a, like I said, it's a really interesting property because it's not really in, but it is in.
Yeah.
We tried to get it out and, but it's a nice looking cape and it fits the neighborhood, but the neighborhood isn't really historic, so. I don't see.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Does everyone agree with that or?
Yeah.
I do. I'm just saying what you
Yeah.
pointed out is in the
Acres back
application.
on the garage doors.
Just a cut sheet on the garage doors, the window schedule
Yeah, I guess.
and a cut sheet on the bulkhead.
Are you okay with like a steel raised panel type of door, insulated door,
Yeah.
glass? You're good with that, okay. I think that we might have put that in, Thomas, like you said.
Yeah, that was
That's on
what we
the
discussed.
application.
Yeah.
Okay,
It-
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, again, if this was like downtown in the
Yeah.
district,
Yeah, we'd be all over
it
it.
would be,
Yeah.
you'd be coming back and we'd have to
Yeah.
go through it and.
Yeah.
But. I think there's kind of a consensus that
so, and what's the best way to submit those?
I think you could email them
items?
to Susan.
Okay,
Perfect.
Is that right?
Yeah, so it's the same way you would play.
okay,
I mean, nevertheless, even if it was downtown, it still is a attractive looking house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
using materials that we approve anyway, so it's not. And it'll be nice to get that treehouse knocked over.
yes.
Does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I think we're good.
All right.
All right. You
Uh,
got your laundry
Thank you
list?
so much.
Yes, I do.
All right.
We'll still have to vote on it, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do that tonight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We have all of those plans, so. they're right.
We do not have those.
You want it?
Yeah.
Want these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't.
You know what? I did talk to Sue and we submitted these last week, so they may have not gone in.
Oh, I'm sorry too. Can you mark the locations?
Sure.
Here. You might.
No.
Want to do this here. 2 minutes of it.
Bulkhead.
There. This one, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. wait, they're not gonna
It'll be on the ground. So those are the condensers.
Yeah, AC condensers.
Okay.
And just initial those.
Sorry, you just need the specs on the ACs too.
Need specs on.
Just
Yep.
side
Yes,
is-
yes,
yeah.
okay. Yep, no problem.
Do they need to be covered as well? Like,
Are those visible? I don't.
Yeah,
Well,
what's the orientation of the house? I was gonna ask.
Yeah, so so the side view, this is the side that's gonna face the road. Here's the facing the cul-de-sac. When you come in, you're gonna drive in here. So this faces across the street.
Cul-de-sac.
So the rear facing this wall cemetery?
Back there will
This would be the cemetery here,
but back there will be the AC condensers.
right here.
You
No,
think-
go to the left, that one.
Are you gonna be able to see them?
Yeah,
You gonna be able to see it from Mill Road?
yeah, you'll be able to see them from New London Road.
Yeah, so you want me to block them?
Yeah,
That's
so-
right. You'll see it like here.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah, so you would
But
put,
if you screen it,
Put lattice.
just screen the
Screen it.
side that's
This
visible.
side.
Yeah.
Okay, we
To
can do
one
that.
side.
Is it all right to do like shrubbery or no?
we can't regulate shrubbery till you cut it down, so.
Yeah,
We can
okay.
do some lattice.
We'll put some lattice.
But-
So we'll make a note of that too.
You know, 2 posts and a sheet of lattice.
Let's see. Impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll put it right here too. And maybe put it there, I'm not sure.
Here, give it to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. Does anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application?
Wait, my pen.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Anyone against the
I already
application?
stole it from the front desk when I came in.
All right, HCC 24-0024 is closed.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
HTC 24-0026 54 West Main Street. Is he coming or?
I
They-
don't think he's coming because I talked to Stu Choquette the other day about something else and she said he was not coming.
Right, I think what was what I was told was that it was mentioned that he didn't have to come from this commission.
So they just want us to act on it?
Yes,
Okay.
So we'll take it, but we'll vote on it. We're not, because there's no presentation
you can review it as
Do
is.
we
The-
want to
and-
put it on the camera for the
for the community.
public or no?
Sure.
You want me to do that? You want to do it?
Sorry.
All right, you do it.
I have some.
You go for your face. Yeah.
And I think
Did I say it last time too?
So I am Bill Ferguson on the Historic District Commission, substituting for Walter Bransley regarding, what's it, number
54.
54 Water Street. West Main Street, sorry.
I don't think you need to present. I just,
So this is the fence that is under consideration. That's it, correct?
there's just.
Oh. This is another view of the fence.
Is the fence just pushed into the ground? Is that how it's mounted? Because I don't see it in the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a black wrought iron fence.
You gonna put those right side up for us, Bill? How long you been on this commission?
So picky. Yeah, I'm not gonna read it now.
All right, so since they're not here to speak on it, I've got my 2 cents and then I'll put it to rest.
Do we want to say our 2 cents now, or do we say our 2 cents later?
No, we're gonna say now because it's part of the open part.
Uh-huh.
So. Just go through those. So those are just pictures of the fence. But there's no supporting posts, so it just falls over, as you can see. We can pass them around.
I took the same pictures.
So,
That's why I asked the question how it was mounted. So it's the same thing.
once you're done with those,
I'm just showing them so the community can see them all.
then we can pass them around. Okay, so these are all fences that we've approved. And my point is they have posts, they're fixed to the ground. They're not falling apart. I think just put a fence in, not whatever that would be called. A landscape border.
I agree.
Just for the file.
As I've said during the pre-app,
What's holding the fence up?
nothing. It's just stuck into the ground.
I'll get the ones that other ones we've approved.
So you can see it's like splitting and falling apart. It's not a fence. I mean,
I went down there. This is Tom Zannery. I went down there myself to see it, and they are like latched together individually. And when I was there were a couple sections that were
right.
unlatched because
So-
they're not very secure.
This is all I'm saying is just.
Yeah.
Oh,
See how it-
those are all different approved versions. No one,
Oh, yeah, nice, huh?
no one's ever argued about the look, the height, the anything, but those are all fences. This isn't a fence.
Right. I'll agree. I just saw someone, I was driving by, there's a family out there and some girl was like
Yeah.
rocking it. as
And
she was
who's gonna
standing, like,
fix it and what's gonna happen? I can't. I just can't see that and this is the same thing. That's all. Anyone else have any comments?
No, I had.
So
So
they
for,
just butted the sections together?
yes, there's nothing holding the sections together. They're just
But they're-
adjacent to each other.
They're not even really fence sections. It's like what you border a garden with. Like when we approve black aluminum fences, we approve fences, posts, a gate potentially, whatever. But the corners are all split apart. Yeah, it's wide open. One piece that goes,
May I see the pictures that?
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw those already. Thank you.
These are yours.
Yeah, I just think it's a different conversation than nitpicking over a couple inches or. It should have been this, but it had an extra spike, whatever. It's not. That's my opinion. But you guys go.
I could agree with you 100%.
I got nothing more to add.
Okay, so are we just gonna put it to a vote when we get to it?
Might be, you could either put it to a vote or you could, continue it for corrections if he wants to submit something else while it's an open application.
We could just submit it as a new application.
I'm sorry?
I could just submit it as a new application because it's gonna be a totally different product.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fence, so it's still the fence application. It's just a matter of timing and public, we have to, publish it again. If it's already here, it's here, so. They have 65 days. to
I
hear
think
it.
it'd be better to vote on it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we'll just vote on it. So.
Okay.
All right, anyone in the audience having this say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? You got a comment?
Wanted to point out a discrepancy in the material list. He listed a wrought iron fence, but yet it was galvanized.
It's aluminum.
Doesn't make any sense.
Powder coated aluminum, yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that, but yeah. Thank you. Anyone else have any comments?
Good observation.
Yeah.
Oh, no, seriously, good observation.
Okay, HTC 24-0026 is closed. Mine's next, but I'm happy to go last. So do you want to just jump ahead to HTC? Is everyone okay with that?
That's fine.
That's fine.
All right, HTC 24-0028 12 Water Street. This is for signage.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, says again.
So after your fifth meeting, the sixth one, you get a free dinner.
Wait, you're on Water Street?
No, we're blocking little business.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
So what is the Misfit Club?
But we bought Marlin Brewery, which is over in Factory.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, on Waterhead, and that's the new name. Yeah, so we heard about a sign that we'd like to get approved.
Okay. Do you want to just walk us through it?
Sure.
We should introduce ourselves. I'm George Podesky and
Timothy Kaler. And do we say 12 Water Street or 5 Park Place?
Yeah, make it
Well,
as-
well,
you
like
said
a
both.
Street for that.
You said
All the
both.
above.
So basically, we are, Barley Head Brewing currently has 3 signs, exterior signs. We are doing, basically, it's pretty much like for like, the design's a little different. But basically, second page shows some of the signage that's in town. Third page shows signage within the factory. This is the current Barley Head Brewing signage. So there's one over the door. There is one hanging sign, and then there's a Factory Square has their own sign, which shows on the next page. Which basically currently, I think they did it with crayon.
Yeah.
And then the ironwork that we're thinking about putting up for the actual signage itself. These are the shapes and dimensions of the signage. And this is the actual sign. This would be the hanging sign. These 2 panels will be cut out and can either be done in metal or wood. Part of the reason we're doing the cutout is so it'll look like the London Underground
Yeah.
signage.
Picked up on that. Really cool.
Yeah, so, and since we're underground, we thought it would be kind of fun play. But also it really helps with wind
Wind.
resistance.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be rocking back and forth.
May not help you with the trucks that pull up on the side.
Uh,
Are you guys already operating or have you taken over yet?
3 or 4 weeks. This is a mock-up of it, of the signage itself. And then we're gonna do kind of a like for like on that's mounted to the walls. There's 2 options. One would be a sign that would go just right of the stairway going down. Currently it is like this one where it is above the door. So the signage would, there are a few, I think it's about a 6-inch difference between the mounted one on the right to this one. These would be floated. The mounting would be floated, so it'd be about 4 inches off the brick itself.
Just because we need to.
Sure.
Pick one,
You need to
what do
pick
you
one.
want?
I think we are kind of going for the like for like and stick it over the door like it currently is, so it's a little smaller.
Like
Uh,
what it shows right
Yeah.
now.
That's just right now.
Yeah, that one.
So do you want to go with option 2 and then if you,
Yes,
if you
please.
decide to change it, just.
Just
then
come back.
Yeah.
Sure,
okay.
sure.
Okay.
And then the,
Pull out option. Wherever it is.
This is the one we want to use.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Thank you.
I don't,
You might not even, just, oh, just cross
yeah,
it.
there you
Okay.
And then the last sign would be the sign that actually shows here. Basically, do a nice enamel sign that would actually, it'll be wood, but it'd be a nice painted enamel that would look like this. A little bit of an upgrade, so that's what we're here for.
Cool. Awesome. Any comments, questions?
So are you gonna be doing brewing there?
Yeah.
You know, I owned Factory Square for the last 15 years.
Oh, you did?
Think about
Sold
that.
it in October,
Oh.
but I had heard about this the other day.
Yeah. Well, that's us. That's great.
You know, group, so he's.
Yeah.
and he's gonna be helping us out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet guy.
I think the logo's cool.
Thank you.
and you said it's cut out, whether it's metal or wood.
Yeah.
The question we would need to know is it gonna be metal or? is it gonna be
We were
wood?
kind of leaving it to your preference. I think it would be nicer to have a thicker, like a wood one. I think it would kind of fit better within the town as well, but it's, we were leaving the options up to you guys to help guide us.
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
I think they both would.
Wood.
Either
Good.
one's a winner.
Yeah.
So.
Wood.
pick
That would
wood.
apply to all 3 signs.
The mounted sign would on the wall would be metal. The hanging sign would be wood and the larger sign would also be wood.
That's it.
You want them to write
It's
that
on-
down and sign it on something?
Just the one
I'll
under
put it
the,
on here as a stipulation.
Okay.
the one under the.
Right, so
light
the
is
hanging
metal?
sign-
It will be metal.
To be wood,
And the one
the
above.
mounted sign, when you talk about the mounted sign, you mean over the door?
No, the
Yes,
rec,
Or the one on
correct. The one above the door will be metal, the other 2 will be wood.
to
So the circular
rectangle.
ones are wood, the rectangular one is metal.
Wait, I'm out, sorry.
And
The,
it's not clear.
the one to the, above the door is gonna be metal.
Metal.
Yeah,
Okay,
All the others will be
That'll be
wood,
on a floated mount. Correct.
right, and all the other ones will be wood.
Correct.
Oh, so
So
2
the-
metals and
So
one
this
wood.
will be a
No,
two-sided.
one
wood.
metal, rest wood.
what is wrong with you?
What's
You
wrong?
break, Bill?
He said
know.
the rectangular one is gonna be.
Wood.
There's.
Oh,
Wood and
okay.
metal.
Yeah.
This one's metal.
But that one's wood.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's on first?
I know, right?
Bill, pay attention.
I'm focused, right, I'm
This
laser.
one,
Wouldn't be that one, but this one
Yeah.
over
Be
here
metal.
would be the metal one.
yeah,
Okay,
and then,
Just because of the float and how it's
Yeah.
mounted in the back, you have to do
and
that.
then the community one.
Will be wood.
Wood.
Okay,
okay.
figure that out.
all right. See?
Sorry.
Can't wait for you guys to open, I'll check it out.
I knew all that from the beginning. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah,
everybody else-
You wanna go through it one more time? Or you good?
Give this back to you.
Oh, sure.
Does it, do you have anything else?
No,
I don't think.
You guys good?
I'm good.
All right, anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? All right, HTC 24-0028 is closed. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
HTC 24-0029, 23 and a half Pearl Street?
yes, it's.
Not a fifth, I'm guessing.
No, it's.
Okay.
house.
I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be something weird, but yeah.
Hey, hi, I'm Bill Jankowski. I'm the owner of 23.5 Pearl Street. And here we are having our kitchen redone, and as part of the renovation, we want to replace the single small double hung window with 2 casement windows. The trim and the outside will remain largely the same. We're gonna do a little bit of modification of the trim that goes back to the rear entrance to the house, just to make it flow a little bit more smoothly. It's relatively well back from the road, behind a couple of azalea bushes. And we have discussed the project with our neighbor, and she didn't have any objections to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's a great neighbor.
All right, so these are regular casement windows?
Well, so the new windows are gonna be casement windows, are gonna be Anderson windows. I sent the specs to Susan
got a
this
picture
morning.
of it here.
Okay, yep.
And so how visible are those casement windows? I'm
No,
not a big fan of casement windows. You can take a casement window and make it look like a historic window. If you look at the windows across the street from my office, if you're coming down Water Street and you
Mhm.
bear left, the first marina on your left, across the street, they're renovating a house, they're shingling it now. These upper floor windows are actually casement windows, but they don't look like casement windows. They look like regular multi-pane windows. So I'm just trying to figure
Yeah.
out how visible it is.
So the rest of the windows in the house are double hung, but they're just large pane glass windows.
One over ones.
Yeah. And so instead of being 1/1s, it would just be ones.
that's the only reason why I don't.
Hmm?
That's the only reason why I wouldn't. Personally, I don't think it's a.
And then again,
it's
if
not
you
like
look
it's
at
6 and you're trying.
if you look at the picture from the street view, it's way in the back.
Is pretty far in the back.
Yeah, the main reason for going with casement windows is they're easier to open over the kitchen
Birds
counter.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it on your driveway side or the other side of them?
It's on the other side of the house, which is Miss Mezja's driveway. It's behind
So hard to see.
so there's a picket fence there.
I mean, in the winter, you'll be able to see it.
The house is so-
Not really, the bush there is so again, there's a fence, there's 3 evergreens on our property.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Is it this window
So it's the window behind the bush is the existing kitchen window.
back here somewhere?
Nope, so there's 2, so the window you were pointing at that you
Yep.
can see, that's our TV room. Right where your finger is another window behind that bush.
Behind this round thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
yep. And so that will end up being the edge of the first window. And then the trim piece that's right next to it
yep. that
is gonna
line.
get moved over about 6 feet to be straight in line with that corner of the house as well.
Yep.
And then the second window will end up going
So-
next to that.
So you're taking the one out and you're putting 2 in?
Yeah.
Okay. But the whole house is 1/1, so. I mean, would you be better if it had a check rail in it? You could add a check rail.
Yeah, well, because it looks like it's a wider window than the current window.
It
too,
is.
isn't it? It's a wider window, so. I don't know, I don't know how visible it actually would be, but I just have a thing about casement windows, okay, so I apologize, but. I can't stand them.
No, I understand. And again, if it was in a more visible part of the house, and if it wasn't in the kitchen, I would understand as well.
Well, what they can do when they make the windows, they just add a check rail to it.
Okay,
So it looks like a double.
Then it would
hung.
look kind of like the other windows.
yeah, fair enough.
Would you be opposed to just adding that?
No,
It's not like it's a major.
yeah, if they
they-
haven't ordered the windows yet, I'll go back and make sure that we specify that.
Yeah, and I think that would satisfy
Yeah,
the window expert.
And then, yeah, then I'm actually really kind of happy about cleaning up the trim by the
Yeah,
back door there.
it's tough because you can really barely see it. Which,
It's a great house.
Well, and I did, before we left, want to say thanks for the solar. We're sitting at 80% renewable energy for the month of May. So
Great job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Those Eversource hikes coming, it was a good time to get it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Taxes were as good as they could be this year. So
yeah, so absent that, if you don't mind making that change, just like I said, ask your contractor,
Yeah,
whoever
not-
orders them, just to add a check rail.
yeah, no problem at
So-
all.
Any other questions?
Excellent. And apologies for the case when, but
Don't want to have it again. Don't come back with ones on the front.
absolutely not, absolutely positively not.
Does anyone in the audience having this, I'm sorry, you all set?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh,
Anyone in the audience having to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? Or HTC 24-0029 is closed. So we'll vote on it in a few minutes.
cool, thanks.
HTC 24-0030 84 High Street.
Yeah.
Hi.
My name is Mike Gabriel and I'm located at 84 High Street.
I'm sorry, what was your name, sir?
Michael Gabriel. So this property is actually behind your Factory Square property. This is for a fence that goes along the rear of the property line. And it is partially visible from the street. Beyond the property line is a drop off of about 25 to 30 foot. It is a very significant drop. It's safety issue, and it was previously secured by a construction vinyl fence that the previous owner had put in. That has since been pulled out, and all of the low value vegetation that was there that had grown up in that fence has been removed. And this is what we're planning on putting back is a wood fence that mimics fences that are in other yards adjacent to ours. So this is the fence that we'll be modeling all after. It's going to be stick built, all wood, no vinyl. In fact, I can stand at my property and point to 4 other properties within eyesight that have this exact same style of fence. Not planning on doing anything challenging. The only thing that would be slightly different is that the height of the fence that I would like to do is 42 inches to the top of the post. This is maybe 36, so that would be the only modification, and capped off the same way. The spindles would be the square solid wood spindles as well.
And where can you see this fence from?
From the street, it is partially visible
This view.
From High Street.
from High
Yeah.
Street, correct? Well, honestly, it's probably visible from down below as well, too.
You think
Right, but it's visible from a public way.
No, it would be visible from.
Yeah,
Because
from High Street.
he's gonna run it past the house.
Yep.
All the way to the historic district or what is it?
This is the fence that was there.
That is the one in the property right next door, which is the Mystic River Historical Society. That is what they have for a fence.
Nice
I know.
fence.
Yeah, isn't it
the
great?
irony?
Yeah.
That's the- So, Yeah.
That's-
So
We should call that out.
this would be a continuation. We would actually meet up to that fence.
Yeah.
So does your application, does the application include the descriptions that we were just, I mean, it's just.
It does not have, that's what I was
There's no
just about,
material list.
there's no material list.
Uh, In speaking with Susan, she felt that this would represent a material, be sufficient as far as representing a material list.
Yeah, I think if you just write, all wood to
Okay.
match design on right, 42 inches tall.
Yeah, 42 inches.
If
Okay.
it's those.
Just
are the
write it right on
details,
there
just
now,
write
and
it right on that.
And then
You
we'll just
need
take
my
it.
pen?
Yes, please, thank you.
Let's make sure you give it
I
back.
was gonna say, you haven't learned anything from tonight. No casement windows and give his pen back.
Is that in the handwriting?
That's in the regs, right?
Would you send a drone up to take these pictures? Or do you have them?
That was from the listing,
These
wasn't it?
shots?
Oh, no, that's from Redfin. From,
From when you bought it.
yeah. Oops, 42,
Did you leave it as 4 units?
yes.
But not relevant. I was just curious. It was a
Yes.
cool house.
From what?
No, I was gonna look at what you wrote. And what does it say, 42 or 48?
It's 42 inches.
We're gonna
The
give it
cent-
leeway.
Yeah, we're gonna give you extra inches anyway, so.
Okay.
Nice location. Any other questions? Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Does anyone in the audience have anything to say in support of the application? Anyone against the application? Okay, HTC 24-0030 is closed. Would you me?
Yep.
So I have to. I'm gonna recuse myself. See if I can do this. All right, Eric Goodman, 9 Roland Street. It says 8.
Yeah, we cut that, it does say 8, but with the yellow flag we put up, I think enough. Probably.
Yeah.
There's no interest in it, I don't take questions about 8 or 9, so.
Okay.
we can go
Cool.
over it.
Okay.
And the pin number is.
Okay.
This is kind of confusing. Okay, so my house, which I think most of you have seen. We got a dog, so we want to put a fence up. The only 2 points that are going to be visible are the areas marked in red, and I'm going to do those out of wood, and the specs are in here. The rest of it, I'm going to do out of black aluminum, so it blends into the vegetation. We can go back to that. This is a view from the front. So you'll see that fence go across here. I also want to add a pergola above this, just to basically block the air conditioner unit and block all the landscaping stuff that's back there. I'll get to that in a second. So that's the view from the street for that little area. And then this would be the view from the street where you're also going to see the fence that would come off of this corner and come out and then head back. So you only see about 3 feet of it here. That's another view. Because my yard goes to here, or actually to these trees. So it'll come, turn back wood, and then once it hits the trees, it'll turn black aluminum. So this is the wood fence that's 42 inches tall. And this is the black aluminum fence that's 42 inches tall. And then this is a representation of the pergola. This is a much larger version. This version will only be 8 feet tall, about 4 feet wide off the house, and then run the length of the garage. So same style, all cedar, but just significantly smaller. This was the best picture I could find. There'll be a gate here, 4-foot gate, and then an 8-foot gate here to get the lawnmower and stuff in. And that gate will match the wood fencing.
Sorry, can you just point to the 8-foot gate?
right here. Which I'm not even sure you can actually see this because when you're
There's a
looking
tree.
down, well, not even the vegetation, but when you're looking down, the fence will block the gate. But there'll basically just be two versions of this that open. That's all I got.
My only question, I think you answered it, was the pergola on the boundary line. Is there enough space? What's the?
Yeah, so there's about 20 feet from the house,
Yeah, we
To
did
the-
discuss that the last preliminary
yeah.
meeting.
but it was pre-app, so,
Yeah.
but there's about 20 feet. It's only gonna come off about 4.
Okay.
So all I'm trying to do is hide the ACs, hide the shovels and all the other stuff that ends up back there. That's it. But to also get to the point of, you can barely see it.
Mhm.
Most of it's gonna be hidden by this tree anyways, and then that's about 20 feet. And it'll only come out to. about
Okay,
there.
that was.
So that's all I got.
Does anybody have any questions for the presenters? None?
No, none.
Can't think of any.
Good.
All right.
It was very thorough.
Oh, it's gonna be a
Very
hard time.
detailed. I was gonna say,
Okay.
We will.
any
Oh.
questions? Yeah. All right. Anyone in the audience want to speak for the? Anyone want to speak against? All right. It's closed.
HDC 24-0027.
HD's dash 24-007.
Thank you. I will unrecuse myself. All right, so if there's nothing else, we will move on to consideration of public hearings.
Medication.
Don't we?
It's 8 o'clock.
No, no, I'm good. That's just. I don't know.
Oh, we don't have to present it.
No.
Okay.
That's a pre-application.
Well, that's everything listed, so moving on to consideration of public hearings. We can start with, well, HTC 24-0022 is continued. HTC 24-0023, 275 Noack Road. This is the condensers and the line sets on the white cape style.
Mhm.
Is there any comments or motions?
I'll second the motion, but I just want to ask a question for clarification. We're gonna put some, I put some lattice on here as a stipulation around the condenser. So we're gonna do it on both condensers, both sides?
We,
I think that's what you said.
yeah,
I think we should, because
we should,
there's a,
just for consistency purposes.
Hey, we want lattice on two sides?
A
minimum
minimum,
of two.
minimum of 2 sides.
Just say to block visibility from a public way. So I will make a motion to approve.
Goodrich second.
All in favor?
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
HTC 24-0023 is approved. I'm gonna do it in order though, so the order that we did it, so it's cleaner. HTC 24-0025, this is 20 High Street. This is the HVAC on the side or the rear of the house up top. This is the same one where they were gonna screen it with glass. So
Right.
any comments or motions?
I'll make a motion to approve. Ferguson,
Goodman will second. All in favor?
Brady, aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Okay, HTC 24-0025 is approved. I'm sorry to jump back to something, but I never set him as a full member.
No, I think it's implied when there's only
Okay.
4.
Just as long
There's
as,
no other, there's really no other option.
yeah, just as long as it's clear.
Yes.
And if I need to, I am sitting him, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving back, so this is HTC 24-0024, this is 8 Ice House Lane, this is the new construction of the Cape. Any comments or motions?
I think it's a good looking house. I think it fits up there well.
I would agree with that. My comment is just that I just want to be very clear that the laxness of the approval is based upon the fact that the majority of that now lot sat outside of the historic district. So it's really more about fitting into the cul-de-sac, which it fits in well, than it is fitting into the historic district, even though I would say it would probably still fit in the historic district,
Yeah,
but,
there were stipulations regarding,
Yeah, we have a contingent on submission of window schedule cut sheet on garage doors and bulkhead.
so I will make a motion to approve contingent upon those items.
Goodrich, second.
All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
HTC 24-0024 is approved. HTC 24-0026, 54 West Main Street. This is the fence in front of Bank and Bridge. Any comments or motions?
I think the issue is that it's not a fence in this traditional sense or accepted sense of the word, with posts that hold it together, that bind it, that create a boundary or some sort of border that is substantive. And while it's not a height issue, it's not even a material issue, it's a construction issue on my part. And so I would like to continue this.
Well, we have to make,
Oh, okay.
you want to make a motion to continue it?
I was gonna make a motion to continue it and have them come back and with an updated version. But we can,
I would make a motion to approve it though, because we have to go in the affirmative,
okay.
so,
I second the motion to approve.
so we'll vote on that. All in favor?
Brady, nay.
Goodman, nay.
Ferguson, nay.
Goodrich, nay.
Okay, so HTC 24-0026 is denied, but they can come back with an approval. Or they can come back with an application with a different material or different setup, different construction.
I mean, someone might very well be able to fashion that fence as it is and put posts in.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, if it had posts, it would be no
Yeah.
issue.
Okay, HTC 24-0028, 12 Water Street. This is, the signage for the new brewery, sorry. I will make a motion to approve. I think it's really cool.
I agree. It's really cool. Good job.
I'll second, Ferguson second.
All in favor?
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
with the stipulation that the hanging sign is to be wood, the sign over the door is to be metal, and the sign on the Factory Square Community Board is wood.
Is that okay with you?
That's okay.
Got it. All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
That is approved. Next one, HCC 24-0029, this 23.5 Pearl Street. So the window modification and hood vent installation. I will make a motion to approve, subject to the addition of the check rails.
Goodrich, second.
All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
HTC 24-0029 is approved. HTC 24-0030, 84 High Street. This is the fence in the back. Next to the chain link fence at the historic society. I think it's fine, and I think it matches what other surrounding fences are, and it's wood, so I think it's.
And I would just add that that's supposed to be, that sign was, a fence supposed to be how high, 42 inches?
Under the tickets.
Right.
Posts would be another 4 inches.
So
So we're just gonna say no more than 4 feet.
We're gonna say no more than
no more
4.
than 4 feet high. But we do that because you get some grade variations.
So I'll make a motion to approve, subject to no more than 48 inches, and that's it.
I'll second, Ferguson.
All in favor?
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
You gotta.
Okay, next up is HDC 24-0027, 8 Roland Street. It's the fence and pergola installation. I'll make a motion to approve.
Goodrich, second.
Vote.
Brady, I.
You got
Yeah,
abstain.
you can.
A recuse.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Motion passes. HTC 24-0027 is approved.
Okay. Is anyone here for any pre-apps?
2 people.
Sure.
So I'm not 100% sure, but I did hear Pizzetta dropped, and I just want to stray away from that name because we're no longer Pizzetta, we're now Pro. And I just want to make sure that there is a contrast between that.
Yeah.
And I'm here to answer all of the questions that were presented on our last meeting.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. It's a habit, sorry,
Yeah.
but trust me, we,
No, I understand. I
Yeah.
just want to.
It could take years for that.
yeah. I'm sorry, did I just got the sign sheet or yeah, who's it? Do you want to come up and start?
I have, mine's pretty quick. or it should be.
Sure.
Like just a minor modification.
Moses, it's like the port of call is still the Emporium.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been in this town for about 15 years and I never knew it as the Emporium, so I just know it as Port.
I got my first Halloween costume.
Lisa Maselli, I'm back. I have a certificate of completion and appropriateness for the compressor. But since that happened, my neighbor.
I'm
has
sorry, could you state the
survey.
address?
What's that?
The address?
33 Pearl Street.
Thanks.
And I have the porch edition.
Yep.
You all remember that this is facing, and so
Can you,
is it this?
he's doing it. There it is.
Was this one that you couldn't really see?
You couldn't
You
really
can't really
see,
see
and
it,
your,
so
and
it
your
was sort
neighbor
of-
was super supportive.
Yeah, Kristen.
Yeah.
you know, She was fine with it and she still is fine with it. It was supposed to be going here, okay? This is the unit was gonna be here, the compressor's here, and there's 2 additional units going in the front of the house. You can't see any of this from really the street, but Kristen had a survey done and our houses, as you know, are incredibly close together. And the compressor, once she had that done, I started looking at that line and I think it's too close. And she was fine. She's like, go ahead and do it. And I said, you might not always live here and I just am not comfortable doing this. I don't want to risk this being too close, and the privacy screen will probably be on her property, even if the compressor isn't. And so anyway, I talked with Ron, who's doing the work, and he said, I can move it here easily. It would be on the west side of the property.
So
as
that's even
opposed
less
to the
visible,
south side.
correct?
What's that?
That's even less visible, is that correct?
Well, I have pictures. I mean, basically, this is Cliff Street.
Just rotate them 180.
Around so they
Sorry,
face the,
I'm like-
yeah. Everybody, yes, don't worry about it. You're not the only one.
So anyway, so Cliff Street, I walked down the sidewalk and this is, looking from Cliff, this is the back of this hasn't been painted yet. This is the back of the house. You can just see this, it would be right here behind these bushes. This is another view from Cliff, just walking a bit further.
So you just want to,
Everything's basically obscured.
you just want to move the one condenser around back?
Right, it's just gonna go on it's just not on the south side, it would be on the west side. So basically, you really can't see it. This is probably the view that you could potentially see it a little bit.
So it's a
But you can't even see it.
It's
I
a
mean, it's-
modification.
We can
It's a
just,
It's a modification.
Yeah.
So Sue said, just come in, present it, let them know what you're doing, but it basically would go here.
sure.
And he's gonna move it from, it would be here, it would be here instead of here.
I think
And that way it's not encroaching on any property line issues, and I just didn't want to get involved in that.
Sure.
Um,
So,
Tom, I don't have any issue voting on it because it's 2 feet over.
And it's the same,
it's-
it's
and
a
it's-
previously approved.
yeah, and I'll
Just
do a
a
privacy
simple
screen.
modification. Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
being a great neighbor and it's less visible. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was fine with it either way, but I just said, I don't
No,
want to
no,
risk it.
smart.
No one's
Well-
gonna
No,
appeal it, moving it around a corner.
no,
so-
that's fine.
Okay,
It's
So
a simple modification.
and do I have to come get I have to get an approval for the lattice or or whatever the privacy screen is that a separate approval, or is that?
we haven't really figured out how we're dealing with this, but I mean, a piece of wood lattice. Wide.
yeah,
Right,
I would
it's
say at
part-
least
it's part
stipulate it
of
on the
the-
modification.
Yeah, it's part
Yeah.
of
It's already part of what's getting approved.
Because I think we approved the
Yeah.
lattice last time, so it's
Yeah.
just the modification of the position. Yeah.
So I can move forward and do that, no issues, okay.
So then I'll do 2 things because we missed a step. I will make a motion to add 33 Pearl Street to the pre-app.
I'll second. Ferguson second that motion.
Brady, aye.
Goodman, I.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
And then I will make a second motion to allow the move from the south to the west side.
Ferguson second.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
You're all set.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
All right.
Just to
Thank you.
dot the i's and cross the t's.
You just never know.
Jeff,
Good thing
do
to do.
you want to come up?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. Just introduce, what's the address?
7 Pearl Street.
All right, so I will make a motion to add 7 Pearl Street to the pre-application.
Apologize
Second that motion, Ferguson.
Brady, I.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
So very preliminary because I was literally at the house today, just looking at first steps. Since I was coming here tonight already, figured might as well throw this on the docket because, you know I need to, get my ducks in a row, especially going into air conditioning season. So the customer, Will Lawton, is looking at adding air conditioning to this property. There's nothing there existing. In my first walkthrough today, I would be looking at putting he's got a patio back here, in the back of the house. So I'd be looking at putting something on if you're looking at the front of the house on the left-hand side, if I can just steal this back, I took some photos while I was there. Snuck over actually before.
Just the brief Craftsman bungalow type.
Craftsman bungalow, yeah. So he's got this whole entire side is open. To put a unit, I looked next door, they had an AC unit that was in the back. It looked like, I know it's flood zone, so looked like the neighbor's unit was barely above, maybe a foot above finished floor height. So I know I'd have to be doing some type of stand, probably out of wood with like a lattice around it, probably looking at doing a Mitsubishi style unit. Because then I can run mini splits off of the unit and I can actually use the basement to run lines around back, so those wouldn't be visible. And the other line would actually be right basically behind the unit. But I would have to run lines up into the attic for an air handler for a ducted system.
My only question is, I'm pretty sure you have to have all the HVAC equipment out of the flood zone, which would be like elevation 12.
Yeah,
I think
So you're like 7 feet in the air or 8 feet in the air.
yeah, I'm sure that, once again, I haven't gotten to that part of the process yet in terms of figuring out exactly how high we're going to be. I do have stucco, for hanging the unit. I was looking at neighbors' units to see what was comparable, and
They're probably done, without.
yeah. One of them's a Mitsubishi unit that's a newer style, so, but once again, it's not, if you're not on the street, you can't see it at all, so, nobody's any the wiser. So I guess
But to get a permit, I think you'd have to be out.
yeah,
Which just makes you wonder, would you want to like mount it to the back of the roof, like was it the original Densmore building? Or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I hate doing it,
Yeah.
but it is what it is, it's really. Today is kind of before I get into the nitty gritty with the customer. I figured I'd do the prelim so I could kind of tell him roughly what I thought his options might be.
If you can get some clarification on the code requirement so that what we vote on would be compliant. I just
Absolutely.
wouldn't want to see you come back and then want to put it on the side of the house, 8 feet in
Yeah.
the air between those windows and have everyone be like, what the heck is that?
Well, yeah, that would be, it'd be terrible. We've done enough down there where I think somewhere in, I'll get with the town and find out exactly how high we have to go.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll be able to come with a more coherent plan.
Okay.
Today was kind of just, knew I was gonna be here and
Yeah.
figured I'd start.
I think just going forward, because you're probably gonna end up doing a lot of these. I think you can expect that there's not gonna be any issues with putting in condensers
Yeah,
because they're getting put in everywhere, so it's fine.
yeah.
I think as long as it's screened, which is
Screened and line height to match as best as
Yep.
we possibly can.
If you-
With a half stucco, half brown house. it's
Yeah.
kinda-
it'd be always preferable for you to bury the line sets, but if you can't,
Yeah,
you can't, so.
yeah. I looked throughout the house to see if there's any stacking closets or anything that we use
Yeah.
in the chaseway. There really wasn't. I have nothing lined up and it's horsehair plaster, so it's like.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Then you yeah, you start bashing that apart, you might as well do the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
What is the elevation of Pearl Street there? You have any idea?
It's low.
It's probably close to mine, which is like 7.
Do you think it's just 5? Like Randall's Wharf is 5. It's gotta be higher than that, doesn't it, or does it?
Let's find out.
With all
I
the,
mean, in these most recent, is Pearl Street's flooded pretty badly?
yeah, I mean, the street is flooded, but
I mean,
where
13 feet in the air is a lot of flood.
yeah, where this unit would be, I wouldn't anticipate anything, because all the water is pretty much on the street, and this is up just a little. Typically, usually a foot above finished floor height has been once again, typically where things have landed, which with the metal stands that those units have to go on typically, then as long as I put a wood stand in there, it should be all right. But
So it's like 5 feet in the front yard and then it's 7 feet. Wait a minute, sorry, I might be wrong. Doesn't actually tell me. I don't know. Can't actually tell you from this map.
All right, well, it doesn't matter, I guess.
yeah, I'll do the due diligence. I'll do the due
Okay.
diligence on it and come back with, real.
Yeah.
Real things, but
Yeah.
figured,
I just think I think you're gonna run into a code problem.
yeah,
Sorry, but
That's
it's just
all right.
better.
it's better to know.
Yeah.
And, my bigger concern was just because of how the houses are spaced apart on that side. It would be visible, but once again, screening it is not a big issue. Usually that's a small price to pay for air conditioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the next meeting is what, 2 weeks from today?
Mhm.
All right, move quick and try to get on that docket.
Right.
All right, thanks, guys.
You need to have your stuff in by this Thursday, just for the,
So that's 48 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm just
yeah,
just giving you context, that's all.
not
I mean-
a problem. All right. clock's
Just because
ticking.
I
Yeah.
somewhat figured it out, but the road in front of the house is like one foot. 1 foot. 1.47 feet.
Really?
Yeah. So I think, and it looks like the yards like in the back are like 4.55. So I think you'd have to come up like 7 feet,
Yeah.
8 feet.
So, we'll see what we can come up with.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You can always just buy some fans.
Okay, Moses, you want to call this?
Moses,
I'll make a motion to add 7 Water Street to the agenda.
Ferguson second,
Brady, aye.
Goodman, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Sorry.
So I took a page from my neighbors, not just from my family house over on Park Place, but now my new neighbors also over on Water Street, so for dual neighbors. And decided to put together a complete PowerPoint for you guys. And this is in response to Mr. Goodrich's email from the last time that we met.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping that we hit all points here.
I just want you to understand
Yeah,
very, very clearly. It has nothing to do with Pizzetta. It has nothing to do with anyone's involvement or anything like that. It just has to do with, you have to just get approval. Anyone has to get approval for what they want to do.
yeah, I mean,
So-
my rebuttal to that is that I didn't think that there was any bias. It was just my response to the points that were made on the last email when I was here last.
Right.
So,
But I just want you to understand, like, as long as it complies with the handbook, it's presented, it gets approved.
right. And on that same vein, I'd like to make it clear that I want to get as far away
Yeah.
from any nuances from Pizzetta as possible and make clear that this is a new brand and it's my brand and it has nothing to do with whatever was involved in the past.
Yeah.
So
And I appreciate you trying to make it right.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm bringing something special to Mystic. I think that all of you gentlemen have walked past 7 Water Street as of late, and it's no longer the yellow mustard orange building that it used to be. I think that is a new brand, and I think that given the chance, it can be a very
Yeah.
great addition to Mystic. All right. So brand. And then,
I'm sorry, can you just face the pictures towards the commission? Because otherwise it's upside down. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Great. So the first point was on the splits. And you know, this is contingent on the fact that we discussed that if I approved photos, that it would be approved on our last meeting. So these are the splits here. And as you can see, there is the new addition of the bottom here. That wasn't there the last time that we met. It is, so I feel like I'm compliant now. I am going to paint that to match the rest of the building. But you know, we are hiding everything that was happening there as of last.
So I think when we go through, so let's just try to differentiate between what needed to get finished and what needs to get approved. So like this needed to just get finished. So this,
Yes,
this
I'm
from my,
going through the entire email
Sure.
here. You know,
And
for specific
unfortunately, I didn't bring
action.
my laptop because I had to rush from work, so I don't know if you have that up or if you remember it.
I meant to put
Yeah.
the bullet points together. That's the one thing that I missed was the bullet point of the email. I realized that as I was driving here.
sorry. All right. Okay, yeah. So, okay, so this was not something that needed to get modified or reapproved. This was just finished. So that's good. Great.
I feel like excess at this point is just better. Next page, we are looking at split and makeup air units on the roof. So again, you asked for photos on that and the photos are here.
So this would just need to get a modification for the change in ductwork, which this we could administratively do tonight. So I'm gonna make 3 files.
Okay.
And I'm also in conversation with Deb Jones with zoning on getting all this good, and she's great on 95% of this.
Okay. Sorry, so.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
administrative, yeah.
Yep.
Can we just note on the individual pages that it's administrative okay, so we can.
What I'm
kinda
gonna
keep
do is
track?
I'm gonna sort them and then
Okay,
we'll
perfect.
just go back through.
Excellent, excellent, thanks.
The next page is the propane tanks that were sitting in sort of that square format, right? They were just like bang, bang, bang. I moved them over. I made them into a straight line. I've also covered them and made them into and painted it in black and a non-shine black. I've also added a bollard, right, in case someone drives into it, that they're not hitting the propane tanks as an extra safety
I
point.
can see that behind that post.
Yeah, and you'll see that in the next page. So in the next page, you'll see the safety bollard that I added, right? Because it's my understanding that people have driven into SIFT several times. And if they drive into the propane tanks, I thought that it would be wise to be safe.
So I'm fine with the lattice and everything. I think it's great, but this would need to get approved because this wasn't where the original tanks were.
Yep.
So that's the third file. Okay.
So I feel like if you look at the original approval, they were lined up rather than squared off.
They were, but they weren't, from what I remember, they weren't there. They were somewhere else.
No, they were there. I should have brought the plans with me, but they were in the same spot. They were aligned rather than being squared off.
You could be right. I don't remember.
Yeah, I should have brought the plans with me as well.
Well, no, they were down like in that walkway going down. They were like down here.
That's what I
So
thought.
that
too.
is the walkway, no?
No,
Because then after that, you have the walkway that goes into the kitchen pretty much.
this is the front corner of the building
Mhm.
and the tanks are here. He had them tucked away in the back. But nevertheless, the
But that would
enclosed,
be in the restaurant, no?
I'm not saying it's not wrong. I'm just saying that's where they were shown. This is where they are now.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to be here, but they're now here, which isn't a big deal. I would just submit this as to get it approved and include the lattice because there's no approval for the lattice
Right.
either.
Well, yeah, in conversation last time, it was suggested that I should cover it, so I
Yeah.
I moved forward with that.
Yeah. But which again is why I'm trying to sort these because I think what we were clear about, and maybe we weren't last time, was the stuff that was done that wasn't approved needed to just be approved.
Okay,
But we can't, there's certain things we can do administratively, like the change in the hoods is so minor, but it's documented now that it can be approved
okay,
here. This would need to go as an application.
okay. Is that going to delay opening
I don't know. I
When
don't
were you
know
planning
when
on
we plan
opening?
yesterday?
Then
Besides this, when could you open?
I mean, I was hoping to open shortly after this meeting. So,
no, not that I don't want you to, I just don't think you can. Because I think it's not just this, but there's some other things from what I remember that would need to still be approved.
so it was my
That would need to be
understanding from
applied.
our last meeting that photos provided would would result in approval at this meeting.
No, and I thought it was very clear, but what we needed to do was there was items that needed to be finished. So those photos are great. There were items that needed to be modified, which again, photos are fine. And then there was new stuff that needed to be applied for. I thought
That
you weren't
wasn't
here.
my, no, Tim
not
Brennan
here.
was here. That wasn't my understanding on our last meeting.
Only because I ended up getting in an argument with Tim that night.
Yeah,
I re-listened to the meeting and I'm positive if you re-listen to the meeting, that's what you'll hear.
okay,
So, I'm
again,
sorry, like
yeah, because.
the problem is it's not you, the problem is it was Tim is the one that made mention after the meeting that if we just let stuff like this go without the approval, we're making this whole situation worse too. So there's sort of a catch-22 of like what everyone's trying to achieve here.
Right.
So again, I think that there's stuff that we can very easily take care of that can just get off the list and be done with. I think there's some stuff that you're gonna have to come back, get it in and come back in 2 weeks.
Which delays me from opening up for 2 weeks. Is that what I'm hearing?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty frustrating right now.
Yeah, there was when he was talking about Deb Jones, there was an issue of, he's putting up bonds for certain work.
I am, right, correct.
So you can bond out of the planning and zoning, you can't bond out of HTC stuff.
Okay.
So. And I personally know how frustrating that is because you and I dealt with that. So I get that, because I wanted to open 2 weeks before I got to open too.
Well, I wanted to open up a month ago, but
Yeah.
either way, so what are the lingering issues
Well,
that?
why don't we go through the
let's
rest
keep
of
going.
the, yeah,
Yes, please.
Keep going.
So the next page is the installation of the trash. So this is my vision on that, right? So it's going to be. This is an application, and there's also something that I'm applying for a bond, right? So I'm doing bond with zoning on this. But it will be wood, it will be painted in black, lacklustered with to match the rest of the building.
So just so there's not any, I just want to be very clear. You may be able to bond out of it for zoning, but you
Yeah.
can't bond out of it for.
I
HTC.
understood. So this is more of a request, I guess, on what the final product would look like. This is not up yet. So
So
this is more,
if you want to do a trash enclosure out of a wood fence and paint it black, that's.
yeah, I don't want to, I'm being told to.
You have to make it a trash enclosure.
Right, right.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, even though he may be able to bond, like, you can bond out of a stop bar, you can
Yes.
bond out of a missing tree, things that we don't have jurisdiction over, but you can't bond out of something that we have jurisdiction over that isn't built.
Right,
So this would have to get built
correct.
before you could applied for,
Correct.
approved and built.
That is, that is, yes, I agree with that.
so that would be a application then.
Right,
But again, something like this doesn't prevent me from opening, right?
it would.
It would.
It not from zoning, but it would from here. If it was,
Why would it though stop him from opening?
because he has
Would
to,
it really matter?
he has to complete it. Otherwise, it gets into that whole argument, not him personally, but it gets into the whole problem of, do you complete the project? Do you not? Complete?
Right, but I guess I'm just looking at it from a practical standpoint, that if he's bonded, if he bonds out that he's gonna do the improvement. And if we look at it now and we don't really have an issue with it, should we really have to stop him from opening?
But if he's gonna come back in 2 weeks to get the stuff approved anyways.
It would just add it to his application. Technically, no, it doesn't prevent him, but because he's gotta come back with an application for others, he should lump this.
But are the other things that significant where we can't just agree that I can open and get this business going? And, with my word that these things are going to get done?
Unfortunately, no. But let's just get through these and then we can talk about them. So the condensers on the side,
Yeah,
the one of
and
these
we can,
just-
we can move on to the next page.
so one of these just got moved based on your email. So
Pardon?
that's based on John's email. One of these was just moved.
The
So-
condensers? No, they weren't. They are in the exact same place. And I have multiple photos here because also on the next page, you see that SIFT has identical condensers 20 feet away that
No, but what I'm saying is that there's no issue with the condenser. It's just the location of the condenser changed.
nothing was moved.
Okay, the condenser location on the plans that were approved is different than the
Than what's on the
condenser
building.
location on the building. So this would go into the category of just something that we can just
Administratively,
administratively
yeah.
approve.
Okay, great.
So. Okay. Why don't you take it?
Okay, so this was the entrance photos that you asked for last time. Again, for our conversation last time, photos would result in approval. Not sure where with that, but see the door closed, the door open, and that's the front of the building.
So this is the door that's the different door from the one that's on the plans, is that what we're
So
looking
it
at?
used to be the entrance to Bezetta and
Right.
then it was pushed forward. So this is the door to that. Yes.
Yeah, this is one that had the door that's got different dimensions on the plans.
Right, so.
Yeah.
This one, we would just, the photo's fine, I think, if everyone's okay with it, we just would need the dimensions of the door.
No problem.
But that still needs to get approved because it's
But that was on the original plan.
it wasn't though, that was on the original, I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is, I think, the door that was on the original plan that's different than they have the flood door on the original plan. Now we have this one.
I have the flood gates and all that situation
So-
also.
It looks like they had like a 6 or 8 foot wide door. Wait,
That is, if you're looking at it, it's to the right-hand side of it. That's where we have a,
No, I'm on the plans here.
okay,
So the door on the lower level was originally shown as like a 8 foot wide door here. And then it got changed to this.
well, no, but there's also a 8-foot wide. door
Over
there
here,
As well.
that's fine. You
No,
know,
this is the deck, no?
no, that's the area outside the bar. This is the basement level.
Yeah, I understand that.
So that where this door is was
Yeah.
supposed to be an 8 foot wide door. And
So
then-
what I'm saying is that here, you have this door, you have the stairs, and then you have a 8 to 10 foot door over here.
I know, but that door was never approved. The door the door that your finger is on was never approved.
And per your words last time, it would be approved if I showed you photos of it.
No, and I would encourage you to go rewatch the video if you'd like to. The only reason I did was just to make sure.
Tim happy? I mean, at this point, I feel like Tim should be here for this. So what sort of delay is this gonna cause?
Okay, I did, again, I want to just be very clear. I said it was fine to submit photos for things that we could administratively approve. And things like this are fine to submit photos for. We don't need like a revised structural drawing or anything. But what we do need is dimensions.
Dimensions are fine. I can do that tonight. I'm not worried about.
But
dimensions.
this
That's easy.
door, these type of items are items that should be approved at a public meeting. So the public has the opportunity to comment on it. Whether they do or they don't, they probably won't, but based upon the fact that no one came to speak on anything. But they need to follow the procedure and they need to go for a public meeting. This stuff here can just be administratively done because it's so minor that it doesn't matter. This other thing that I don't know where it went is
I think it's in
it's
your
just
own
something that needed to just get finished and that got finished, so we don't care.
Okay,
That's great. This stuff, though, is the stuff that I was very clear needed to be applied for. I was making the argument to Tim that you should just apply for everything to make it really clear. Tim didn't agree on that. And for whatever reason, he didn't want to do it that way. I wish he had done it that way, or someone had told you to do it that way, because then we could have approved everything tonight. But instead, nothing got submitted. So the stuff that I just want to be clear, I'm not attacking Tim either. I just wish we had just submitted it all as an application, like I had said. We could have approved or denied or whatever, all of it, and then moved on. But now we've got buckets of piecemeal.
And again, this is very frustrating for me because every week that goes by costs me tens of thousands of dollars, right? Like, I want to be very clear with that also,
Yeah,
right?
it's just,
So,
it's not fair to the people that have to follow the process that,
well, it's also not fair to my bank account, but that's,
I know,
I guess that's a different
but
subject.
there are people that can't move into their additions. There's people that can't move into their new homes. There's other businesses that can't open it. The procedure's the procedure, whether
So
you
I-
or anyone likes it.
And again, I don't mean to be so clearly frustrated, but I am.
No, it's fine. It's
We understand.
I just got a text from Susan. She said they did apply and it is scheduled for the next meeting.
The
already.
next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
But it's all, they've already made the application, so this is just pre-app for what you're gonna see
okay.
coming up.
My wife was handling that, so I guess.
Okay,
that's
so
the way that-
did, okay, but we can still skinny this down. So the next
Right,
meeting.
yeah. I agree.
We have less items. So this next one, you want to remove the stairs going up to the deck?
I don't want to remove them. They were, you said that there were stairs that were in the plan that were going to go off the side of the building. I said, I have no intention of doing that. I'm showcasing it on the.
But you just want to modify the approval so that the stairs don't ever get built.
They're never going to
Okay,
get
so
built.
that again just needs to go through an application.
They're never gonna get built.
Not really, 'cause it's like reductions. I mean, a moving around of something, I think it's fine.
Okay, I
Yeah,
just wanna,
if someone wants to remove a window or a door, we do the same thing.
But I'm not removing anything, right?
If someone had a house that they were building or they were doing an addition and they had 5 windows and they wanted to go to 4 windows, we would make them come back and reapply. If they wanted to take a window and shift it over 3 inches, we would just do it as a modification.
Right.
So. Okay,
The stairs to the dentist's office, you asked for pictures of that last time. There they are.
you just had some concerns with this for ADA, but I don't,
Yeah, I think,
you just done with it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is nothing, this goes away. So
We
this,
spoke of new signage and the ballot covers, which are there. You know, I added on the yellow ones last time. And as you can see, the new parking signs are up.
So this sign needs to get approved. These bollards just need to get cut even and you can put the covers on it. But that
Oh,
also,
that's new information as well right now. I mean, last time they just needed to be covered. So now they need to be cut.
do you really want them to look like this?
I'm going to put lattice to cover them because I'm being asked by zoning to cover the meters. So I'm putting lattice in front of it and painting it black per zoning.
You should just,
I don't know if I wanted to make them even.
you should just cut them
Sure.
and then put the covers back on it.
and I think in my email, I said they were uneven.
I did not see that in the notes, but sure.
And that's not a you thing. Normally they're put at even heights.
I didn't install them. I'm just trying to deal with the problem.
And then the sign would need to get approved, but that's again on the thing. Handicap signage, we don't care about any of this. So. So
Fans,
the interior?
they're,
exterior.
yeah, that's what,
All right.
why they have to get approved.
Okay.
So these you just need to get.
And I want to make clear that my frustration is that the last time that we met, you were on the screen here.
Right.
That I was told that all this would get approved per photos. And I've shown up here today with an entire, deck of photos. And I feel like what was said last time is not being honored right now. So I am pretty frustrated right now. Because I feel like what was said last time is not being honored and is completely frustrating to me right now.
So
I can understand the frustration.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the video like he did for a second time,
Sure,
but my memory's the same as his, that we said these had to be
sure,
applied
sure,
for.
sure. But
So I remember
that's not, that wasn't my understanding when I.
If I may real quick,
But
I
you-
remember at one point, Tim, I made the comment like, just let them apply for it so it's clean, and Tim didn't agree with me, so.
you also did apply for it. You just you didn't get on this meeting.
Correct, because I've been so damn busy that I didn't meet the deadline, otherwise I would have. But and I missed it by like 12 hours, but sure.
But do you understand we can't change the rules for you?
I get it, sure. But I just feel like what was said last time and what's happening right now doesn't, it's
don't
not
want-
in line.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if you want to watch the video, I'd encourage you.
I'm probably not going to do that. I have a
I
million other
wouldn't
things to
either.
do.
Yeah.
Let's deal
Okay,
with what
so
we have.
what's happening with the
You're-
fans here?
You're gonna need some cut sheets on the fans from whoever the fan maker was. And then
Cut sheets?
like a spec sheet showing like the size, width, whatever. And then just submit that with your application. Or bring it to
You
the,
said, Tom, that they've already submitted an application?
Yeah.
You can add to it.
Right. But he's got to do that by Thursday, right?
No, I mean, it will still be advertised. In that time, you can
just
still
like
make
the old
additions
days
to
where
it.
You can
Yeah.
bring, yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing here, if he applied for the enclosure, but we need something showing what the enclosure is gonna be,
Right, yeah.
so. Are you gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
So. On the enclosure, would. I guess we really don't. Are you all okay with pressure treated lumber and lattice standing 8 feet high, 5 feet long, and 42 inches deep? Is that,
I'm gonna say you're painting it black, you said, to match everything else.
so just maybe to match, maybe just a note that it should match the propane enclosure, I don't know, just so we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would,
That's the idea.
so on this wall, my suggestion was you apply to have it. I was very clear about this. You apply to have it as a brick wall to match the other wall, but you have 5 years to complete it.
Correct.
So you've got to apply for a brick wall.
Okay.
I think what you're not understanding, and I apologize if I wasn't as clear as I should have been. You need to apply. It needs to be publicly noticed.
Well, I gotta say that the last time that I was here, there was kind of a fiasco going on between you and Tim Brennan. So it was kind of an intense situation where I probably wasn't as clear as I should have been.
Right.
Because I was
But-
caught up in the middle of something I probably shouldn't have been.
But what I was fighting for was for you to come in 2 weeks today with an application that had been filed with all of this stuff. So it would all be done.
Yeah.
That's what I was,
Fortunately, that wasn't.
that's what I was I thought clearly arguing for. Tim, again, who's not here, didn't want to do it that way. I don't know why. And it's resulted in this.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's literally upping me.
Right.
The notes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So again, I don't know that, like. This other brick wall was just never approved, but you just need to submit an application for the wall and that.
And also, I mean, there is a bit of conflict of interest here since the wall was built by you, right? Like, so I just want to make sure, like, was this approved when you built it?
He paid the contractor directly outside of me for this wall.
Okay, according to Tim Owens, you were the contractor involved in this project.
And I quit because he kept doing things that wasn't approved.
Right,
There's no conflict of interest. I'm not making any money off of this. And I'm not making any money off of you not opening. I wanted you to open and I fought so you would come tonight with an application so we could vote on all this tonight and you could open tomorrow.
and again, Eric, it's just, I'm completely frustrated because this
I was
delays are just.
Well, you still have zoning issues that there's nothing we can do.
My zoning issues are actually in a pretty good place. I'm like 95% there with Deb Jones. I don't have that many.
I am not trying to hold you up. I have never tried to hold you up. I've actually done quite the opposite by trying to work through your complaints.
And let me say too, you've taken a prominent building in town. You've done a beautiful job. I want to see you open. I want to see you be successful from the bottom of my heart. Unfortunately, we just have to get over these little issues so that you can open.
These little issues,
Or maybe they're not little issues, but these
They're
issues.
little issues that are that have major time constraints.
I get it. Nobody's trying to hurt you financially.
Time is of the essence for me right now.
I understand. I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Yeah.
And,
I just-
and
I'm-
again,
I'm gonna,
it was clear to apply, because I remember that was, I think the comment I made that kind of got Tim up is, well, let him just apply for everything so it's clean,
And just so it's done.
so it's done. And,
Okay.
and I'm very impressed with you that you're like, hey, I'm just gonna do it to get it done.
But-
And I understand you want to open, I want you open, I want you to, I think you're gonna be a great addition to downtown. And I want to see you open, I want to see you be successful.
So I also, again, just because I'm sick of being accused of a conflict of interest or some sort of whatever, I will happily recuse myself from this. When
Yeah,
you-
I
when
mean,
you come in
look,
2
you,
weeks.
you do whatever you think is in the best interest. I don't care either way. I just want to get my business open, right?
Yep.
Like, I really, Eric, I don't care if you recuse yourself or not. I just want to be, compliant.
Are you?
I want to be
concerned-
compliant
you
and I
concerned-
just kind of want to just move
Are you
this thing forward.
concerned with a conflict of interest?
Not at this time.
Then I will stand and vote on it.
Great, not at this time.
Thank you.
I can say from what I see, and I'm just talking about myself personally,
Yeah,
when this comes up for an application, I think you're gonna sail right through it. And that'll be my vote. From what I see, like I said, you're doing a beautiful job. You've
Thank you.
taken a prominent building in our town and you've made it, I mean, my personal, you've improved it 100%.
thank you.
But we just have to, hit the check
problem
boxes.
is if someone doesn't apply, it sets a bad example.
I understand.
And it puts it in a bad position for other projects. You know, things get done and they get built and things have, people have to come back. They do it, that people make mistakes and whatever. That's all we're trying to do. And we've never had any animus towards anyone who's come back. We've never, as far as I'm aware, we've never voted no against anyone who's come back unless it was clearly outside the scope, but I don't even think
Right.
there was one.
No, I don't either.
So all it is just, if you don't do it, it just kind of is out there. And then someone later at some date can say, hey, you guys didn't do this. And then shut you down potentially. That's the worst thing. Way worse than having to wait 2 weeks. So,
Having to wait 2 weeks right now, it's not the best tickle, but sure.
no, but
No,
imagine
we
being,
get it. We get
imagine
it.
being in the middle of August and having someone call out a complaint and then he has to go shut you down. That's way,
Right.
I would think that'd be way worse, but nevertheless, like that's the goal. So the stuff that we don't have anything to worry about, that's out. I don't have any problem making a motion to approve the modifications to the splits in the side of the building and the splits and makeup here on the roof.
can I call a TV timeout real quick?
Sure.
Do we have his file?
For 2 weeks from now.
No, for previous. Like for this. Cause it's gotta be noted in a file. right?
What do you mean?
Well, I think what you're getting at, Bill, is that, I mean, I understand what Eric's trying to do to get some of these things just sort of approved now, but maybe still the cleaner way to do this, if he's going to be delayed. Doesn't it make more sense just to do it all in one fell swoop with the public hearing? Because the problem is, the problem I'm worried about is now, okay, Moses sitting there going out, do I include this one in my application? Oh, no, wait, I think they approved that by modification. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that Bill put it here. No, these are your notes that on what I have to
Right.
add to my application, no?
Right, and
So-
this is the pile of things that need to be.
But my
So then do you wanna-
question is, for Eric and Thomas, if we approve some of it administratively, does that make it a little quicker for him when he gets the rest of the approval? So he can open quicker, or does it not matter?
So on that note, I just want to be very, very clear. The last time what I wanted was the whole thing to just get reapproved with photos and everything. So it was 100% done. So do you want to just leave this in and just do it all next in 2 weeks? And-
At this point, Eric, I think it'd be cleaner.
I'm texting with Susan and that's what she's saying is
Okay.
the case.
So just for my clarity here, in my application, which I'm going to re-modify, is this what we're looking at?
No,
No.
I'm doing it
Fantastic.
right now.
Great.
Give me, sorry, just give me 1 second.
So yeah, just write everything that needs to get in there. So that there's not a
And if
question.
you're not sure about something, put it in.
Yeah. Heights, measurements, like materials.
Does the ball need to be?
No, it's hidden. But the tanks, the moving of the tanks and the lattice around needs to get approved.
What made you choose the paint scheme? It's a good one. I like it. It's clean.
Correct.
Yeah. And just because we talked about this last time, what's up with that sound thing? Did anyone ever answer that?
According to Tim Farmer, that was approved years ago, like
Okay.
2017. So I remember back here in 2018. That's why it set in my mind.
And
it
it's really, just being
Making it
a
over.
conscious
Yeah.
neighbor
Right.
where.
That's why it
we're-
was approved for the
Correct.
condos. Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, if it's approved, it doesn't.
Yeah, it was approved in 2017, according to Tim.
What are we doing here?
Just cut them flat and then just to say that the lattice is gonna match.
Right, so have, but whatever zoning zone for the lattice, so we're all,
The lattice will be behind the yellow, just so that we're clear on that. Just because I feel like if I wrap the lattice around the yellow, some knucklehead is just going to.
ram right into it.
Yeah, drive right into it, exactly.
Yeah. Then you're gonna have broken lattice.
Correct.
I mean, those were never supposed to be there, but what's his name came back and Mark Camo came back and got that approved.
This.
The power was never supposed to be there, yeah. But it was approved to move it, so it's not,
This is the door.
but that's why those things, but I don't know who put those in. Actually, I don't think we even mounted the meters because we quit before that. That was with. No.
The door size and the specs, yep.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll just, material list, it's pretty much there, but.
Size.
This way.
Oh, yeah,
Let's see.
that's fine. Yeah.
We don't do, the sign is.
What's the time between between public notice and meeting?
I don't know exactly. I mean, if they have to be in by Thursday, I think the meeting, it's like 7 or 8 days.
After the public notice?
I think so.
Can you notice it tomorrow and call a special meeting? Save a week, or does it not? Is that gonna matter?
It would have to get in the paper. That would be if it's today's Wednesday, Thursday, oops, Friday. I don't know I don't think it would be next Tuesday. I
Can
don't
we
think it
check?
would-
No,
See?
I'm do the meeting on Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know the logistics of that offhand because HDC is a little different than other things.
I mean, is it gonna make a considerable difference to have the meeting potentially next week? So you could open for next weekend versus the.
It's 1 week. Susan says it's 1 week.
So,
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about the week of the 13th, I mean, that would be a lot more significant than making it the week of the 20th.
I mean, I'll go out of my way.
I appreciate that.
If she noticed it on Wednesday or Thursday, and we had the meeting on the Friday, the 17th. I know it's really. Well, if she noticed it Thursday, we could have the meeting on Thursday, the 16th. If that works. If it doesn't
Right.
work, forget it.
I mean,
Sorry, but if it doesn't.
How much, the public only needs 48 hours notice, right?
Well, for a public hearing, for a special meeting is just a meeting, but for a public hearing, special meeting is, I think you still need the extra time.
I thought it was 48 hours. Can we check on that?
Well, that's for a meeting. That's
Right.
just
Yeah,
to
you
do a
want to
meeting.
make
You
it
can do a
so-
special meeting,
Okay.
but to do a public hearing at a special
Can you
meeting,
just look over and make sure my notes make sense?
And how fast can the paper publish it?
2 days.
I mean, I'd be open to come
By the
in
next
on a
day.
special meeting to get them
Or
open.
do it. Yeah,
If you guys can pull it off.
I mean, if it worked and you got everything in order on that Thursday, the 16th, I would assume you could open on the 17th. If not, it's the 21st and you know, hypothetically.
If I can be on the schedule for the 16th, that'd be great.
I don't know that's
out of our hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see if we can make it work for the
Okay.
timing of
So
it.
am I talking to Sue about that? Or am I reaching out to Sue?
So how quick could you get all that information into us? That
Well,
deposit?
that's not as big, that's
I
not
know.
as big of a deal.
I just want to make sure that, you know,
Yeah, I mean, this is not I can have two managers banging this out tonight if I needed to. So
they can get a special meeting done.
I appreciate that. So just so that I'm clear, so I may be seeing you guys again on Thursday, the 16th.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come if they can make it work.
As will I.
I appreciate that.
At the
Thank you.
7 o'clock meeting.
Do
I mean, we
whatever.
could probably
Do
do
it
six.
whenever. You can do it 5 o'clock if you want,
Yeah.
or 6.
Well,
We only need 3 of us, so.
Thursday, the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm free too.
Would you want to come or do you?
I can come, the 16th.
Yeah, Thursday. Should we lock in a time now or you want
I
to
think
email me
that's-
or how
I
does that
think-
work?
I'm available
This is-
anytime that works for everybody else. So you guys tell me.
I'm available after 5.
After 5.
So say 6 or
6,
5:30.
I could-
6.
6.
All right. So if she can sufficiently notice it, so it meets the requirements and we can get it on the 16th, we can do it at 6.
At 6
Okay.
o'clock.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put
We'll start working on it tomorrow.
If we can, they're gonna try.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I get it. Trust me. I'm it's unfortunate
trying.
that it's dragged on this long, and I can tell you that it's something that we tried pretty hard to try to get resolved for a long time.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that it has no, I don't have any, I don't care about Tim Owens or the project. I mean, I don't need to like go on a rant about it, but I build buildings. I don't build small restaurants.
Right.
And I'm not upset about him. I'm not upset about the project. Like, I'm not, I don't know you. I don't know the thing. I wish you the best. And that's all we've been trying to do.
Great.
But before you were there, no one was doing anything to try to get this resolved.
And if you watch meetings, going back a year,
Yeah.
I've been bringing up the same email that came up over and over and over again. So it's well before you got in there.
Yeah.
There's nothing, that just needs to get approved. That's still. Okay, sorry.
And like I said, I think you could be a great addition to downtown. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've already put this in writing and emails and everything, because it's all got dealt with 2 years ago, but like, he was just doing what he wanted. And we were trying the best we could to keep with it and whatever, and we ended up quitting. But we quit and we left money on the table because I personally wasn't gonna put myself in a position where I was doing stuff that he wasn't getting approved, even though everyone was saying to him, just get it approved.
Right.
So. But it's not you, it's not the person that makes the place look great. It's the person that doesn't get the things approved that look terrible.
Yeah.
I think you can tell from, what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's all. You get this one, just as back. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Keep
I'll
your
see you
fingers
guys,
crossed. We'll see you in a week, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Public communications.
None for me.
None from staff.
The only thing I had was a neighbor I didn't mention it because I forgot, but a neighbor of Bank and Bridge was asking about what was going on, but that was resolved, so.
Oh, and from the last meeting, I forgot to bring up, somebody brought up that the Go Mystic sign isn't, or the Mystic store
Oh,
wasn't
they just need to get their sign approved.
Oh, it didn't?
Just-
Okay.
Just Mystic, you mean?
just Mystic, that's it.
It's missed.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
So Tom, will you reach out to tell them to come and apply?
Yes.
It's Nelson.
Yeah.
Something Nelson.
Okay.
it's a nice looking sign. It
Yeah,
just needs-
beautiful
Yeah.
sign. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize you didn't get approved.
Brother, sister, husband, wife. Husband, wife.
I'm gonna leave approval the minutes for when Ted's back.
Correct. That was my motion.
Um,
And we need to have the special meeting has to be approved at a special meeting. So hopefully we get the one next Thursday. We can approve them then. Technically,
That's what, yeah.
the minutes for the special meeting?
Minutes for a special meeting are supposed to be approved.
Robert Rules of Order say technically.
At special meeting.
Well, they wouldn't get approved. Oh, those, okay, sorry. All right.
So I say we push those off, and if we have the special one, do them then. Otherwise, we just.
Yeah, we'll push them off. Old business, the only thing I have is, last time you'd asked me to rewrite this enforcement piece, and then that was gonna get included in the red line, and then the attorney could look at it instead of us trying to ask for it. So this is what I came up with. If you want to read it.
I felt like.
When you're done, let me tell you my rationale, and then we can talk.
Was the English teacher.
I was told in law school that I had a blatant disregard for the use of a comma. Oh, were you good?
You finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
You good?
So the red is what you.
Yeah.
You changed or added?
Either added or changed. So my rationale was, if Tom, if you see something
Mhm.
that was constructed or something that was demolished, and it's blatantly obvious, you've got to issue a stop work order. If there's work that's been completed that no one saw or realized, and it gets brought to the commission's attention, we can vote on it. We don't have to, but we could vote on it. Then you'd have to issue a notice of violation after 7 days after we vote on it, but only if we vote on it, unless you see it to be blatantly obvious, and then that way you got to deal with it.
So, okay, so there's two different categories then?
No, it's
Okay,
just,
so,
if something comes up and someone's like, hey, they just tore down a house,
yeah,
you got to issue it.
Sure.
Violation. If you drive by somewhere and you're like, okay, these guys are putting up a chimney, replacing a wall, whatever.
Right.
You've got to issue a stop work order.
sure.
If something's out there and you're not aware of it,
Mhm.
it's just out there.
Yeah,
In that scenario, if it gets brought to the commission's attention, or in theory, you become aware of it,
mhm,
you would let us know, or you'd issue the stop work order. And then we would vote on whether we want you to issue a notice of violation.
okay,
So if it's glaring and you see it, you got to issue a stop work order. If not, and it comes to our attention and you're not aware of it, then we would vote on whether a notice of violation should be made. And
okay,
that gives a little leeway to the commission if it's something that's so minor that we just don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
Or if everyone feels like it was approved or it wasn't approved, it allows the the majority to make a vote to issue a notice of violation.
Okay,
Then you got 7 days to issue that notice of violation and it's out there.
Yeah.
If,
and then 90 days for them to comply,
right.
which,
Now-
okay,
The only other reason why I would say we wouldn't vote on it is if you're like, hey, this came to our attention, someone realized they installed something they shouldn't have installed, they're gonna be on the agenda in a week, 2 weeks. We're not gonna vote to issue it.
which is a resolution. I think,
Right.
yeah, applying for the certificate of appropriateness would be a resolution,
Would be great, yeah.
because then they're coming before you and then you look at it.
Right,
and-
if
okay.
though someone discovers something and it gets brought to a vote and we decide to issue notice of violation, we would say, hey, rip down your vinyl fence, do whatever.
Right.
You know, whatever we decide to do. If it's out there for 90 days, at a minimum, then we can determine if we want to vote to have someone move forward with going whatever the legal route is.
Okay.
Now, along those lines, have we determined what the proper, I guess, decision-making person is? Because I know there's a little bit of,
Well, you're the historic district enforcement officer, right?
So, yeah, I'm the enforcement officer and just, I mean, based on this, it's really at your discretion. I mean, if I see things that, like you said, are blatant violations, we do the
So-
corrective action. Otherwise, it's your discretion to say, you direct
Correct.
me to send a letter
yeah, so
on
I
your
guess my
behalf.
question is a little further where we've had John
Okay.
Burt and Rich Cody say it's their decision.
No, this makes it very clear that.
Good. I've talked to Chip, but they say state statutes to say it's our decision. I don't know if we just need to memorialize that in writing.
No,
or-
that's very clear.
Okay,
in
good.
this. So if Tom's out there and he sees something, he has to issue a stop work order, if it's like major.
Yeah.
If it gets brought to the attention of the commission or Tom brings it to the attention of the commission for a minor violation, we then decide if we want to vote to issue a notice of
Okay.
violation. If we issue the notice of violation, which he would do 7 days after we vote on it, gives it a week to kind of potentially clear itself up. Then it's out there with the notice of violation. We have to wait 90 days.
Perfect.
If no one does anything, then we have to have a minimum 90 days and then we can make a decision if we want to vote to have action brought in Superior Court.
Okay.
So it very much puts it on the commission to handle things appropriately in a reasonable level.
Understood. Thank you.
And just so. I'm
Sorry, and it also gives, I'm sorry, but it also gives people who have either intentionally or unintentionally violated the rules to correct it.
Time to correct them, absolutely.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
So. I'm just. When I say he, I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
The
zoning
enforcement officer.
enforcement
Yeah,
officer,
it's a-
all right?
yeah.
It can only issue a stop. Work order, not a violation.
No, so if he sees something without us being aware of it and it's glaring and it's a major thing, he issues a stop work order.
Right.
That's the way it was before.
Yeah.
If it's a minor thing or we become aware of it before he does, we would vote for him to issue a notice of violation.
But he should. My only addition would be if he does issue a stop work order, there should be communication.
Oh, sure, it would be in the next staff
Well, it-
report, or we would let,
That's all.
Yeah.
That wasn't clear.
oh, you would definitely
like-
know, yeah, that would be in the staff report for the next meeting.
It just wasn't. In this
Well,
document.
no, it is because it says any such order or notice. So meaning I'll modify it to say any stop work order or notice of violation. Shall state the general nature and
Okay.
they've got to rectify whether it's a
That's
stop
my
work
bad.
order or rectify. it
Yeah,
whether it's
shall
a
order the
notice of
property,
violation.
yeah.
Because if he stops them or we issue notice of violation, they've got to stop.
Right, it would kind of catch it both ways, because if they're doing something that blatant without a historic district permission, without the certificate, they probably don't have a building permit either.
Right.
So that would be two things. It would, otherwise it would be like a fence or something, or some ornamental lighting that maybe they didn't need a building permit or didn't think, and then it's where
Yeah.
it would come to like
Yeah.
the historic district would have.
Yeah,
I just want communication.
Yes,
That's,
absolutely.
that's all.
Oh, sure, yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
And I'm not saying you have it, that's
No.
what I tried to predicate
Or-
with my statement.
And
I just
again,
wanted it in there that.
yeah, most likely the minor stuff will work itself out without any of the stuff.
Yes.
that's done. It's only the major stuff where it gives the commission the authority, clearer authority to follow the.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I'm fine with- Yeah, I think it works well.
But don't get willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I built a 25-foot tall pergola.
Just take away the
The disco ball.
May
in the
two,
middle.
see,
Oh, yeah.
May vote,
Yeah.
not May two.
May vote to institute action.
Okay.
It's not my. Shredded. Shredded. I don't. The only thing, again, I just will say is. I was very clear. With regards to how to handle that. It's unfortunate that it wasn't handled in the way I wish it had been handled, because it could have been done tonight. But that being said,
But it's
I think it-
water under the bridge.
I think it
and
has
we'll-
to. I think it was. It was just a confusion of him coming in here for the pre-application when he submitted the application. It's going to be on the next meeting. So that's where I think the disconnect was, in my opinion, just from seeing what was happening, that they submitted the
Yeah.
application and now he's doing this. And it's like, well, you have an application. So he's just,
well, the
seems
only
like-
thing I
yeah.
will say is that what I was trying to get was him to just submit the whole thing,
which is what I think they did. Yeah.
which is what they did, but that's not what Tim wanted.
Okay.
And that's what, sometimes as much as. I think there's sometimes a really balancing act between, is this really that big of a deal?
Right.
But I don't think the big deal is to him. I think the big deal is always just follow the process.
Mhm.
For everyone.
Yeah.
And if the process is followed, it goes through, and as long
Yeah.
as it meets the guidelines, it's fine, which is like 99%.
Right.
You know, it's very rarely that someone doesn't do something they're supposed to do and then comes to us and is like battling us on what they don't want, what they
Mhm.
shouldn't have done in the first place. And it shouldn't have ever been approved.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah.
But every time, I think, have you seen when you were doing it, every time that someone's made a mistake and done something, and they come and they submit the paperwork and they give their materials, and it fits in and it looks good and it follows the regulations, and it just gets voted and approved.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in this scenario, it just had to be put.
There's so many
Look
pieces
good.
to it. You're right. Yeah.
And I think also just going forward, we should be really conscious of like larger projects or commercial projects. Or prominent projects on like prominent houses, and just make sure everything's spelled out.
Yep, agreed.
You know,
I just want to make sure I gave him everything. So is there a way we can? Feel like I gave.
But I'm sure you're fine. I'm stressing that too much. You're pretty good.
It's not him anyway.
all right, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thanks.
You want to pay for it?